All right, welcome to my live stream. We're live. Let me know if there's any audio issues or anything like that. As far as I can tell, everything should be broadcasting fine. I'm Joshua Kemble, and this is the live stream where I work on comics. Particularly, I've been working on a book called Not Death But Love, The Strange Supernatural Story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. You're going to hear a lot of noise in the background. That's because this is a daytime stream, and I've got a family that is up during the daytime, often doing some fun things. Anyhow, so today's stream is going to be really challenging. I finished page 51 of Not Death But Love off stream, and that went pretty smoothly. But this whole page is a establishing shot that's very challenging. And then it's going to be a crowd scene, and that's going to be really interesting to try to kind of parse through and work through. And I thought it would be cool to do it on stream as I work on the rough. So I'm going to be roughing out page 52. And so if you guys are curious what comics I've done in the past, you can check out quarterlystories.com, joshuakemble.com. Both of those will lead you to be able to check out my other work. And in the show notes, there's a link to my 2 graphic novels, Jacob's Apartment and 2 stories. And I'll probably be playing advertisements for those throughout whenever I get worn out and need a break. And I'm guessing this page is going to be a nightmare page. Full disclosure, I'll admit, as an artist, I'm actually kind of afraid of this page. And I think that's why I wanted to do a live stream of this, is like, to kind of show you guys how you lean into fear in order to do work. This is a page I'm not even sure I can pull off. And so that's going to be really challenging and interesting. And we'll see how that works. We'll see if I make it through the stream alive. But with all seriousness, this is a really crazy page that I'm about to get into. So let's get into it. But first, I'll show you guys the page that I finished off stream. So far in the story, I'll just recap. I'm not going to recap the entire thing. I'll just recap where we're at. So Robert and Elizabeth have just gone to a seance by a guy named Daniel Douglas Home. And she was crowned with a wreath at the seance. And this is an after the fact kind of conversation. They took a handsome cab home. And this is them in their little flat that they're renting in London, having a brief conversation. So we'll go through this page just to kind of get you the setting, and then we'll get into our script. As usual, what I'll be working on is going to be over here. Script section is down here. And we'll see if today we can equally all kind of join in facing our fears as artists. So we got Gary. How's it going, Gary? He said, "Hey, brother." Hey, Gary, how you doing? I hope the stream went well this morning. We had a bunch of interesting trips we had to do this morning, so I ended up missing your stream, but I'll probably watch it after this stream if I ever finish it. Let's see. So then we got Adam in the chats. How's it going, Adam? We got Keith Harper saying hello. Hello, Keith. He said he's listening in the background and trying to learn Procreate. That's awesome. I hope I keep you company while you're learning. All right, so here is what this page said. It's Robert saying, "I went around to Maud's library or Moody's library, and what do you think was the gossip of the day?" And she's saying, "I can scarcely imagine." And then Robert saying, "They were talking of your coronation last night at the Spirit's Hand. Do you know what they say? Place the wreath upon your hallowed brow." And he pulls Dante's Inferno out from his pocket. "I haven't the faintest idea," she says. Dante, oh, ah, ha, 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 ha. And that is the last page. So they're saying that it was the devil. Okay. So anyhow, that is where we're at. And now I need to basically take my script. And the first thing I do when I'm roughing out a comic page, the whole purpose of the rough is to kind of figure out pacing and stuff like that. But this is a page that's a beast. Any cartoonist reading this, I think, would feel a little intimidated. So it starts by saying, "London's literati have gathered for a party in Alfred Lord Tennyson's parlor. The pine paneled space is stuffed with comfortable furniture and opens to a library filled with bookcases, small benches, and couches for sitting. Oh, intimate clusters of guests sit or stand in the parlor area, their focus on Tennyson, who sits legs crossed in an armchair pulled up to the fireplace, reading aloud from a small volume. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a fireplace in there. We'll have to see. Elizabeth and Robert sit in a nearby sofa with Dante Gabriel Rossetti, who is engrossed in sketching Tennyson on a paper tablet. That's a lot. Caption, Chapel House, Twickenham, London. Tennyson's going to be reading, I hold it true, whatever befall, I feel it when I sorrow most. 'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Tennyson closes the book and rises from the chair, and the guests applaud. Okay, now we have to break this down in a way that's actionable. But we already have a lot of really intimidating things here. So let's get into it. So number one is going to be London's literati. I don't even need this to be in my like nice pencil thing. We're just making a list. London's literati have gathered for party at Alfred Lord Tennyson's parlor. So we're going to say, I'll call this establishing shot. Twickenham, London. We're going to hide our little guides for a second. So number one is the establishing shot at Twickenham, London. Let's see. Number two is going to be shot of parlor with guests. Tennyson, Rossetti, and EBB, and Robert. We're going to have to figure out how to fit all these people in there. 3. It's going to be, maybe we'll do library and background. Okay. 3. I'm gonna say maybe in this shot Tennyson. No, we're not gonna do Tennyson reading yet. Okay. 3. Now this will be Tennyson. Oh, come on. Tennyson reading. And then 4 will be T closes book to applause. This is a beast. Okay. So first thing's going to be, I have a lot of references that I've looked off. Gary said, I went on with no agenda and ended up talking for 2 hours. Good, bad, shrug. I'm sure it was great, honestly, Gary. Your streams are always awesome. Okay, so we have to kind of work this out. So the first thing's going to be like, we're just going to do a real quick thumbnail here. So an establishing shot of Twickenham Hall. So it's going to have like the name of the location. Twickenham Hall. Maybe we're going to have a bunch of guests kind of approaching. Second part will be shot of the parlor. Shot of the parlor with guests. Maybe Tennyson is okay. We'll have to kind of figure that out. Next one with a library in the background would be great if we could. This one will be Tennyson reading. I like this being like a wide shot or a wide shot. This could be of Tennyson reading. And this could be some people in an audience. Tennyson closing the book. Clapping hands. Okay. We've got a rough idea of our thumbnail and how that's going to work. There's our thumb. I'll go ahead and separate this and call it my thumbnail. Okay. I like that pretty much. I'm pretty happy with that as like the description of what we're going to use. Got our list. We've got our thumbnail. And now I just have to find other things. Hopefully you guys can still hear me okay. I'm moving the mic a little bit. Okay. So now we're going to go to our rough borders, or my rough borders. I am going to keep that thumbnail up. Okay. Border roughs. Sort of get back to our thing here. I like the idea of this being somewhat worked out. And we're just going to kind of figure out this thing together. I swear there's parts of script sometimes that are extremely hard to draw, and this is definitely one of them. And again, we're not working on the final yet. We're just working on the rough, but holy moly. This is definitely one that's slightly intimidating to kind of work on. Okay. This is going to be a wide shot, so I can get rid of my center. We're going to have 2 wide shots. 2 wide shots. Okay. Make that thumbnail a little smaller. We don't need it huge. Okay. What do we have here? Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is find our Twickenham exterior, which I've already looked up. That's good. Twickenham exterior will be the first part. This is going to say Chapel House, Twickenham, London. So we'll rough this out and see what we got. So I have my rough borders kind of placed out. And now it's just a matter of finding what I need. So first thing is going to be this top thing that's going to say chapel.
I was just sleeping in bed and then I woke up on this pizza. Whoa. See if you tried it like as a pet.
House.
That would be like such a powerful pet. It's just like toothless. You know, a dragon.
Twickenham.
Oh. Who's found that?
And again, we're doing this rough, so but we still want this to be as clear as possible to like indicate what the final is going to look like for the client. London. Okay. So this first part is just going to be a lot of the way that we've been doing our introductions, where there's like a scroll. And we have our scroll here. Okay. And this is going to be the chapel house. This is just a rough. But it will be good to have some sort of representation similar to what we're drawing here. Okay. And then we'll have our windows.
Just in case they have one.
Here we go. This will be the bigger windows here. Okay. Very much just a rough.
Hey, Scotch wants to come in. Is it okay?
And then we've got our gates here. And the dogs. Okay, and then we've got our tree. It's going to be out here in the foreground. Something a little fantastical here.
Actually, for me, it was
then we're drawing this building just
You know, I think
as
I'll
best
wear
as we can from just a quick sketch.
and
So then from here, I wanted to have quite a few people in the foreground. So let's first get this background sort of laid out. Here we go. Okay, so here's Chapel House, Twickenham, London. But we want to kind of, let's see if I can find a good sequence. This is just going to show, Ben, what are you doing? Ben. No. Goofy Benji. All right. So we've got a space now for a bunch of guests in the foreground that I want to put in there. So let's see if we can do just that. So let's get some people crowding in. There's going to be a doorway here that I would imagine everyone's crowding in through. So that I can merge down. Oh, probably shouldn't have merged down. Oh, and I have all this stuff on my thumbnail layer. That's not good. Okay. Get this all back in place. Merge down. Okay. There we go. We have our house thing. Now we're going to have our guests. I want to have some guests just sort of coming in. So there should be ideally like some heads and faces here. A lot of men in suits. A lot of women too. Maybe with some of those hats. And in this case, since they're behind the fence, I'm not concerning myself too much with like how intensely accurate this drawing is. We're going to have a few more faces, gentlemen. This one's going to have a top hat, just for the heck of it. Very tall top hat at that, too. Now we're going to have much bigger folks set out there. Ben, your mom is in the bathroom, dude. Sorry, I have to let Benji know when he's calling for his mom that she's not quite nearby yet. I think this will be somebody waiting a little closer. And they're going to have one of these sort of crazy dresses. maybe with. Okay. And then we're gonna have. Let's have like another gentleman. Maybe this one's more in the foreground. The beard.
Do you want me to sacrifice this with the Scottish piece? Well, if you don't, then I will. What?
The upturned collar of the day.
And if you do, I won't.
He's gonna have a dark suit. His hand's gonna be kind of all of these men. He should have one of those lower ones.
Your yogurt. Things you find yourself saying as an adult. Stop throwing your yogurt.
And here,
Quickly turn into anger. I'm sorry. I was just trying to make you laugh.
here we're gonna have our people sort of out here. I like the idea of maybe there's a couple random folks out here too. So maybe I have a couple people waiting outside as well. I'm gonna just get them drawn in. Let's see. Maybe it could be like.
Alex wakes up when it's still nighttime. And goes out to hunt phantoms.
Okay, so there's going to be a woman
While Alex is going hunting,
with that sort of ridiculous hair.
while Alex is going hunting for phantoms, while Alex is going out to hunt phantoms, a wolf walks in. And then Alex gets killed by one of the phantoms.
She's going to be talking to another person in this sequence.
If you do not,
She'll be talking to another gentleman who's right here.
when you die, you'll respawn at your spawn.
He'll be a balding gentleman.
You'll just respawn where you died?
If you don't set one, if you don't set one, you'll respawn. You'll respawn where you last set your spawn point. Which
And that
is
gentleman will be
where Alex first started playing.
a little bit off screen, so.
Which was very far. So Alex. So it may take a long time before Alex gets back. It's morning now. Right now, Steve doesn't see the wolf.
Maybe we'll have just a couple people here. Few last minute people.
Fast forward to when the wolf bites Steve.
Let's go find Alex. He should be back by now.
few additional folks. This one might be wearing one of those hats.
Hey, Alex, here, give my wolf some meat and he'll like it.
Actually, I know what it was.
And we'll just put like a little bit
Remember what happened? You just disappeared.
I went off the fight. I woke
color
up.
behind there. And now what we're going to have to do is just sort of
I forgot to set it.
get in there with some dark shadows. And that way we're just getting the idea that, hey, there's something going on in this house. So I kind of like the framing with the people.
I was thinking we could name it Sausage. You could call it Midnight.
Okay. Whew, we're going to save this. And then we're on to the next panel. The next panel, which we're going to look at our thumbnail again. And our thumbnail should be on a different layer than those. These should be merged down. Okay. Let's turn off some of these. So we're done with our exterior. Okay, I'm going to play a real quick trailer for Jacob's apartment, and I will be right back. We'll start with the classic trailer for Jacob's apartment. Here it is. I'll be right back with a refill of water. This is going to be a long haul drawing session, so I plan on doing this stream for quite a while. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Here is the trailer for Jacob's apartment. Speak clearly, it seems that only in dreams can we be these things we've seen and walk around breathing I don't know the part to play in this heart of mine. There's dissonant things, they split at the seams. Sweet. Frank said, "What is this, Jacob's apartment?" And then, how's it going, Frank? Frank, good friend of the show. And then we got Philip also joining. How's it going, Philip? I hope it's going well. So I had found this interior of a parlor that's like a Victorian parlor, and I think it'll work pretty well for this stuff. We'll have to see. And then Frank said, Ben, right on cue. Nice. Okay, so the one thing we have to catch is going to be this. Okay, so we've got the one thing we got to catch is like capture this scene, but there's another really important one, which is going to be Tennyson. So there's an image of Alfred Tennyson. He's a famous poet. It is better to have loved and lost than not have loved at all. This is the artist who's that Dante Gabriel Rossetti. I need him in this scene. I need to find his sketch. Where was it? There was a sketch that he did. This is just going to be helpful for like extra audience members. This one too, just to kind of get me in the mood. Let's see. Now we've got, where is that drawing? That's the catch. I know there's a sketch. It's another Tennyson sketch. I know there's a sketch here. Here it is. This is the most important pose to nail, because that artist actually drew said sketch while there. So how can we kind of make that in this scene? We also need to have Elizabeth Barrett Browning and Robert. There's our Browning portrait. So I'll move her portrait over. And we need our Browning and our Robert. Where's our Robert? I'm going to label this so I don't lose it later. Robert. Okay, Robert and Elizabeth. There we go. They're going to be at this party. So I think I wanted Elizabeth to have a different costume in this too. And I thought I had found that. No, it's not the library, not the exterior. There it is. I think I'm going to have Elizabeth with this wacky costume that's a little challenging, but we'll figure that out. So, okay. Whew. We got a lot to go on here. So, let's see here. We're going to draw more of this scene. Okay, I want this to be more focused, I think, on the left side with Robert and Elizabeth. So Robert's going to be sitting here. Going to have Robert here. Robert's going to be here watching.
Definitely try it. Does he have a spot where he could write something? Benji. Did you break your own face?
Okay, that's Robert. We're going to have Elizabeth.
Is your face stuck to the couch?
Elizabeth here. She's going to be wearing her outfit there as best as we can show it. This is a real rough draft, okay? Elizabeth here. And there's going to be this guy. How are we going to show him? I'm not a fan of, I'm trying to think of this scene. He's supposed to be sitting next to them, so maybe he can be there. This man has Very intense eyes. See.
Alex's evil twin.
You guys might hear in the background Benji and Mai playing. He's going to be here and he's going to be drawing, furiously drawing a picture.
Where is it in the mask?
It's evil. Alex's evil twin.
In his sketchbook.
It's a mess. It's a mess. This is his actual mess. Or this.
Then we're going to have Lord Tennyson. Tennyson will be here
Good job.
in that exact pose.
Now we have to destroy my evil twin.
What? You're gonna kill your twin? Oh wait, he's evil. This is like Next Generation Data.
This is just a rough.
Do you remember Data had an evil twin? Oh, it's kind of sad. I don't know if I can do this. He looks just like you. What was supposed to happen?
No, you're beating up Toothless. Okay, I can definitely hurt you.
Tennyson's over here.
Okay.
He's too big. I'm drawing him way too big
Man, that guy's really evil.
for this scene. But that is okay too.
Toothless, baby.
Toothless isn't that.
Oh, I'm gonna go get you something to eat.
One of his wings got.
And he is going to be sitting on a chair. Don't worry, we're going to fill all this in as it goes.
Wait, maybe I'll try what I did last time.
Okay. Tennyson's going to be more here.
Which made him fall. Which made him flip over like this. Oh, here.
He's going to be sitting. I like the idea of maybe there can be a few folks standing. So there's going to be a couple ancillary characters standing.
EXLA is how you spell Exela.
First one will be this guy here.
Exela is the backwards version of Alex. He's totally the opposite.
Yeah.
I like him having kind of a beard.
Oh no. He's trying to like fight anything that's near him. There's another invisible person attacking you.
All I did was fall over.
You better take a nap. Oh, Alex.
More of like a guy in the foreground.
Sorry.
You can sleep in. You can sleep here too.
Sorry. Old habits from when I first started playing.
That's okay.
I first started around with my whole team.
And let's have,
That's blood in my face.
okay, let's get this sort of established now. So this is going to be on a couch that they're sitting on. They're going to be sitting on a wider couch. Tennyson's going to be a little bit further in the background.
Tennyson?
Yeah,
Really?
Tennyson, there's a
They
scene
hang
with
out
him.
Tennyson?
Yep, they have a
Is that what it
drawing.
looks like?
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's fun.
Looks amazing. Who's that?
That's the guy who drew Tennyson. It's this Dante Gabriel Rossetti guy. You're on stream, by the way.
Gabriel Rossetti.
Yes. He's like a
That is
painter.
like a winning name right there.
Yeah, it is pretty rad.
Imagine being there with like all of them.
That's what I'm trying to do
in all
right
their
now.
garb.
Yep,
Dang.
I'm trying.
Ladies' dresses.
So
Could they breathe?
Now we've got a little bit more. I like the idea of maybe even more in the foreground. We have like another person, just so that we get the sense like this is a crowd, like an audience that's witnessing all of this.
Anyone else stocking up on Halloween candy?
It's
To have
true.
as little snacks.
Who else out there? Who out there in the chats is stocking up on Halloween candy? It's an important question for my wife. You guys have to answer that. I'm gonna have to check out the chats too in a second once I've kind of
Look at that
managed to
room.
work out this room.
That's so cool.
So we're kind of
Why
taking.
did houses get so boring?
That's a good question. So there's going to be a little bit of a thing here with the lamp. We're going to have this framed by another tall window.
Well, thank you. Yes, you need to feed my dog.
A giant tall window, and I will check out the chats once I'm done with this part of the thumbnail. This will be like we're going to use that wonderful painting here. And then here, we're going to have a big window again that has like another one of those sets of drapes. So there we go. We've got a little bit of the sequence. The room is going to kind of be there. I love the idea of having some of this ornate thing going. For the chandelier, I want to fly from the chandelier here. That was for you guys. I know you liked my amazing operatic singing there. Okay. Whew. Let's turn off all of these nice images we just found. And I think that'll work for the establishing shot interior. I'm going to actually have him start reading here. So he's going to say, I hold it true, whatever befall. I hold it true. For some reason, I can't type today or write today. Whatever befall.
Walmart, they've got some pretty awesome Star Wars figures of the ships.
That's true. They have very awesome Star Wars figures of the ships at Target. The Razor Crest, the Millennium Falcon.
A teeny tiny Mando.
That's true. That is true. Okay. We have managed to work out another one of these crazy panels. Obviously, this is just a rough, but it's good for, again, this is going to help so much when I'm putting together the finals for this to kind of work out a little bit of what I wanted for this scene. And it's got the vibe, I think it's effectively got the vibe of like a packed party room kind of thing. Okay. Now this is going to be a closer shot. Well, let's find out from who else is here. Okay. Philip said, I'll be in and out here. I'm still getting the studio put together and it's taking a long time, but I'll leave you on chatting in the background. Awesome. Glad to keep you company. Frank said, that was him. He must be the most quoted in that line, but I had no idea who originally said it. Yeah, that was Tennyson. And then Frank said, I'll be inking and coloring a card, so I'm listening. I was seeing this beautiful woman for a few months, but it ended abruptly. She had curtains installed. Oh, no. That's a horrible joke. Frank was saying, has Ben read Captain Goggles and Mask Woman? Will there be a candid review video? That's not a bad idea. Maybe I can have him read those. That's Frank's comic. Speaking of exes, one of my exes wrote a song about me, something about being vain. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Man, Frank is on fire. David Tennant. I like it instead of David Tennyson. Every time I hear the Chandelier song, I think of Puddles the Clown singing it. That was Philip. Nice. And then Frank said, Philip, my brother in maple. I bought a bottle of maple syrup the other day. It didn't last long. I may have a problem. I have seen Frank straight up guzzle maple. So, just saying. Okay. Here we go. For this next sequence, I have my thumbnail. I'm going to move my thumbnail somewhere where I can see it. And I'm thinking that it's going to be best to... Okay. We need to find that parlor. Parlor can go under the thumbnail. Because I like the idea of my thumbnail being visible, but not that one, this one. Okay. What else do we need? We need that Elizabeth Barrett Browning one. I want the artist and Tennyson. Then I need Elizabeth. And we'll have Robert. Okay. And then we had another costume for her. Where was it? Oh, no. I think our beta fish just moved on. Okay. So now we've hit the hour mark. Before I get into doing this next thumbnail or this next rough, I think we will head to another break so I can get a refreshment. I will be right back. I'm going to go ahead and play Jim Luhan's amazing animation. Here it is.
Well, Peter, since I'm such a big music fan, I'm gonna have to go with Karen Carpenter. Oh, Stu, I'm sorry. That's the incorrect answer. Trish, what you got for us?
I'm gonna go with Kim Gordon.
All right, let's check that answer. Kim Gordon. Do we have a Kim Gordon? Yes! And that means you're our new Wordzoid champion, Trish. Dale, tell Trish what she's won. Trish, you've won a copy of 2 Stories, a memoir of faith and mental illness. Handwritten, hand-drawn, and handed to you by artist and writer Joshua Kemble. But wait, that's not all. You've also won a copy of Jacob's Apartment, the story of a doomed romance. What happens when you take Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and put it in a blender with Ghost World? You get Jacob's Apartment, written and illustrated by Joshua Kemble. Trish, thank you for playing Wordzoid.
All right, great job, Trish.
I was told I was gonna get a lifetime supply of paper towels.
All right, that was Jim Luhan's Wordzoid ad for Jacob's Apartment and 2 Stories, my graphic novels that you can purchase. Philip said, "Uh-oh, not sure if it's me, but I'm seeing some lag." Let me know, Frank. Like, do you hear me okay, or is it laggy? Let me know. For this one, I think it should be. This is going to be tough to work out. This page is just a little bit rough. Okay. I want this to be a close-up of Tennyson. We're going to have to look at that drawing again, too. So where was that drawing? There it is. There is the drawing of Tennyson. So I want this to be a close-up of Tennyson. And we're just going to kind of go for it, see if it works. I might rework it from the previous panel because I want it to focus more on what he's saying, as well as a closer picture. So this will be a closer image of Tennyson. It's going to have this kind of dark demeanor. He has his hair. This will be a little too close to him, but that's okay. I'm going to want this to be... Now he's going to be a little more expressive. Like he's going to be expressing himself much more clearly, but this will be way smaller. It's not immensely smaller, though. Here he's going to be his arm is going to be up. This hand will still be out holding the page. And this is going to be him sitting at the seat. And then here, I wanted to have this be I think a close-up on Rossetti. And I think like it might be cool if it's kind of showing what he's sketching. With his fountain pen. Holding that the wrong direction. Should be up. And we'll have a drawing. And in this case, we can just take that drawing sort of have it like a picture of the drawing that he's making. This will be a very similar thing. So this is going to be like a closer shot. I think that works. We'll have to find out. Let's get all of these shut off, except for here we're clearly going to need that. Okay, let's turn off the thumbnail. Here I'd like to have that still that lamp would be nice.
Mom? Yeah? Did you make me some snacks?
Yeah. You want some
Okay,
Cheez-Its?
and this is going to be
Yes, and Cheerios.
And Cheerios.
a close-up of that.
So where's my water?
I think this kind of is sending the message that they're in like this audience.
Can you get my water?
Yeah, I think I put it in my room, but I can go grab it.
We have some light sources, stuff like that. A lot of this is going to get covered by the word balloon, which is kind of good to know. This was like a last minute thing just because it's supposed to be significant that he's this artist who's drawing Tennyson. Okay. Yep, and like I said, most of this is going to get covered with exposition. He's going to be saying, I feel it when I sorrow most. Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Here we go. You know what, you guys? We are making it. We're making it across this page. So now we need to add just a little more shading.
Mom, please plug my iPad in.
Oh, yeah. Good thing I got a new longer cord.
Little shading. A little bit more of the scene we're kind of trying to depict here. A little more of this guy. Okay. Whew. Now we got to get back to our hull. Frank was saying he hears me fine, so it might have been the Canadian internet. And then Philip said, I think it was me. I refreshed, and it seems to be okay. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear you refreshed. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, now it's going to be a wider shot of everybody clapping. So in this case, it's almost going to be exactly this background sequence. We'll have to see. But we're going to have Robert here clapping. Robert is clapping. Robert's clapping. Gonna have Elizabeth. Elizabeth's going to be clapping as well. She's going to be wearing that sort of ridiculous outfit. I need to see that artist's face again. This man. Clapping.
Mom? You got any string cheese?
I don't think so, but we.
Mom, I want some string cheese.
See what is available. Okay.
He's going to have his sketchbook on the
I
floor.
mean, I want some string cheese.
I know, but if you don't have that, you can't have it.
I know, Mom. But
This will have
have you check the fridge?
I'm going to. Just a moment.
Check everywhere in the fridge.
Have these. What are these?
this will be a closer shot of
You want one of these?
Tennyson.
You don't have the string cheese.
So I need to find that one of Tennyson.
Yes. Mom, can you get me some?
Next time we make an order, yes. Okay. I'm not making a whole grocery order just for string cheese.
One of these was the sketch. Tennyson. Not that one. Where is that sketch? It's not the handsome cab. I know the sketch is somewhere here and I can't seem to find it for the life of me. Not the library. There it is. Okay. Have that sketch. And that sketch will be informing us. Okay. And then we're going to have our Tennyson's going to have risen from his chair. And I'm going to have him kind of bowing almost. As weird as that is, I think that might actually work. Here he'll be holding the book. But here he'll be sort of almost leaning, bowing. And let's have him a little bit smaller. So that's him rising and bowing. And then we're going to have the chair that he was sitting on in the background. It's going to be here. And we're going to have that lamp stand right here. Lamp stand. This will be the bottom of that chair. And now we need to just look at our previous thing, which will be there we go. And I think we actually roughed out this close to impossible page so far. And it's like, the thing I love about it is I was intimidated before even taking on this page, and drawing it out just makes me realize like how feasible and possible it is to kind of work out this page. Hopefully you guys find encouragement in that too, because like you can take on crazy pages and actually kind of pull it off. And honestly, the act of doing these roughs, which by the way, this should be another clap. So that's another, it's just a good indicator is what I'm saying of like what the art process is, where if you attack something kind of fearlessly, you do your research, you map it out enough, on pretty much anything is possible. And like, don't, hopefully, unlike me, you won't get kind of intimidated. I get intimidated quite a bit, but what I find is when I lean into it and kind of face the fear, I end up accomplishing more than I thought I could. And honestly, I think this page is kind of making sense. So I've made it a little more intimate, but I think that works for the scene. And I think that as it goes on, we'll see how well that can kind of work as we pull out into other scenes in this same like giant party. But I am really happy, honestly, with like how this has come out. And I feel like we're much further along in the story now. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and save this, print it out, and then take a little break. And I will probably be back to live streaming a little bit later on. Keith said, fear is the mind killer. Yes, I agree with that. That's a really good way of putting it. So anyhow, we fearlessly attacked this page, and it took about an hour to rough out, which is really exciting. Hopefully I can come back on in, I'm going to take like maybe a 20, 30-minute break. And then I'll be back to rock and roll some more pages in this script. But I'm actually really excited about this. If you face your fears, you guys can accomplish anything. Thanks to everybody who showed up and has been watching along. And I hope that was a fun stream. And I hope it was informative and shows you guys like how you can tackle even something like a crowd scene from a page that seems really intimidating and break it down to where it's much less intimidating and I think honestly effective. So that is going to do it for this stream. I'll see you guys in about 20 or 30 minutes on the next one if you guys feel so inclined. Also, if you haven't yet, hit the thumbs up if you've been watching this. Before you leave, hit the thumbs up. That helps this video reach more people. And then aside from that, if you want to know when I'm about to go live again, which will probably be in about 20 or 30 minutes, hit that bell so you get notifications when I'm about to go live. All right, I'll see you guys on the next live stream.